Alright, so I'm gonna be getting into some dangerous waters in this video, but let's give it a shot. As you most likely already know, Johnny Depp is currently in a legal battle with his ex-wife Amber Heard. That can hardly be news to anyone at this point unless you've literally been locked away in Davy Jones' locker for the past couple of months. But if you've somehow missed it, here is the TLDR. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard met each other when they were both working on the film The Rum Diary in 2009. After dating for a handful of years, they got married in 2015. However, just 1 year later in 2016, Amber Heard filed for divorce and she filed a restraining order against Johnny Depp, meaning that he wasn't allowed to come anywhere near her. We then jumped to 2018 when Amber Heard wrote a piece for the Washington Post in which she said that she was a survivor of domestic abuse. Now, she didn't actually name Johnny Depp in the piece, but it was seemingly heavily implied that he was the domestic abuser that she wrote about. In 2019, Depp then sues Amber Heard over the article that she wrote. In 2020, a phone recording of Amber Heard admitting to hitting Johnny Depp is then released, fueling the rumors that maybe it was actually Heard who was the real abuser. Meanwhile, Depp enters another court case against the British tabloid The Sun, who had called him a wife beater because of Heard's allegations. But Depp loses the lawsuit against The Sun, and just days later he is asked by Warner Brothers to resign from his role as Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts films. I actually made a video about that, which you can check out up here. This year, the court case between Johnny and Amber then finally begins. And this case is a big mess, and I don't necessarily think that I'm the best person to explain it. There are a lot of people on YouTube and TikTok who know a lot more about this trial than I do, so if you really want to dive into it, I recommend checking them out. But I am of course talking about the trial today, and that's because there is one thing that I do want to chime in on. As mentioned, because of all these lawsuits and allegations, the Hollywood studios have tried to distance themselves from Johnny Depp. Even though Depp hasn't been sentenced or proven to have abused his ex-wife, the studios don't want to be associated with someone who might potentially be a violent abuser. And if you look at it from the studio's point of view, that kind of makes sense. They're spending a lot of money on the films they're making, so they don't want to take the risk of having people boycotting the film because of one actor who may or may not be guilty. Now, I'm just gonna say here that I'm not gonna be taking sides in the case of Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. We still don't have a decision from the court on who is guilty and who is not, so for now I'm going to stay out of that. I do believe though that since both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have been accused of abusing each other, they should be treated the same by the studios. Like, if Warner Brothers are going to fire Johnny Depp from Fantastic Beasts because of this situation, it seems weird that they wouldn't also fire Amber Heard from the Aquaman sequel. And that's not to say that I necessarily think that either of them should be fired, but it only seems fair that they should be treated equally. But let's get back to the thing that I really wanted to talk about. Because during this trial, there's been some talk about whether or not Johnny Depp would return to the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. There has been some rumors that Disney, who obviously produces the Pirates films, doesn't want Depp to return in the 6th film. But during the trial, Depp was also asked whether he wanted to return to the franchise, to which he answered no.
Mr. Depp, if Disney came to you with $300 million and 1 million alpacas, nothing on this earth would get you to go back and work with Disney on a Pirates of the Caribbean film. Correct?
That is true, Mr. Rottenborn.
And as we talked about, I think it makes sense to assume that Disney are trying to distance themselves a bit from Johnny Depp, and that they might be looking to do something different with the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And I also think that it makes sense for Depp to refuse to be in another Pirates movie if Disney is already thinking about getting rid of him. And there has been rumors that Disney are trying to reboot the franchise, possibly with Margot Robbie in a main role. However, nothing has been confirmed or announced yet. All we know is that the 5th film, Dead Men Tell No Tales, ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and that Disney is working on something. But what should that next thing be? Can Disney actually make a Pirates of the Caribbean film without Captain Jack Sparrow? I think for many people, the answer to that question is a resounding no. To a lot of people, Jack Sparrow has become synonymous with the Pirates films, and I definitely don't think they'll be able to just recast the character. I personally believe that there was a time where it would have been possible to make a Pirates of the Caribbean film without Jack Sparrow. I think people forget this, but Jack Sparrow wasn't the main character of the first movie. The main characters were Will and Elizabeth, though Jack definitely stole every scene he was in, which is why he got a bigger role and became more important to the plot in the following films. But after the first 3 films, I think his story had been told. On Stranger Tides was the perfect opportunity to do something different with the franchise, but they ultimately didn't. And by now, I think it would be really weird to people if Jack Sparrow wasn't in the 6th film. There is, however, a different way that I think Disney could reboot the franchise without Johnny Depp and without Jack Sparrow. I think the best way for Disney to reboot Pirates of the Caribbean is with a series on Disney+. Now think about this. If the next chapter of the franchise is a film, then people will have a lot of expectations. Going into the film, people will already have an idea of what they want a Pirates of the Caribbean film to be. If they instead move it to a series on Disney+, people won't have those same expectations. We've seen a Pirates of the Caribbean film before, so we think we know what that should look like. It probably has Jack Sparrow in it. But we haven't seen a Pirates of the Caribbean series before, so we're more open to that being different. We might even expect it to be different. I mean, telling a story over 2 hours in a film is very different from telling a story over 8 hours in a series. And just the fact that we as the audience are watching it online or on our TVs is setting different expectations than if we were sat in the theater with a big bucket of popcorn. The series would give Disney another perfect opportunity for a fresh start to the franchise. They'd be able to probably introduce some new characters that could carry the franchise after Jack Sparrow. Or, I just had an idea that I don't know if I should say out loud because I don't know if it's a good idea and it's something that Disney might actually do. Alright, I'll say it. If Disney just wants to distance themselves from Johnny Depp but still want to keep Jack Sparrow in the franchise, they could make a young Jack Sparrow series. Like basically what we saw in that one scene in Dead Men Tell No Tales, but, with a younger actor instead of awfully de-aging Johnny Depp. I'm just putting it out there because I think there's an actual possibility that Disney might do that. But I would definitely prefer it if they just told a completely new story with some new characters. But what do you think? Do you think the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise has a future without Johnny Depp? If so, do you think they should make another film or should they rather make a series? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want more videos from me. But that's pretty much all I had for you today. My name is Martin Riise. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care and so long.